Hi everyone, welcome to sketching. Today we're on day 19 of my sketching challenge, and it's the 25th of the festive season, isn't it? So I hope you're having a great day. I hope you're enjoying this day. I hope you're having some nice, great food. Probably having a roast turkey. I probably might have a roast turkey today. I don't know. But yeah, I hope you're having a great day. So today I thought I'll do a quick little sketch of 3 nice little eggs in a kind of clay bowl that I had lying around on my desk. Nice bit of composition here, and it's quite an interesting kind of image to draw this because we've got complementary colours, kind of colours from the same family, like with the eggs and that clay bowl. So I think it makes quite an interesting painting, this one. So all I've done is I've started off by blocking in the colour and kind of like outlining the edges of the bowl with a darker brown, and I'm kind of using like an orangey reddish shade of brown for this. And I say it's interesting because from the same kind of colour palette that you use for the bowl, you can really get the similar tones for the eggs. And you'll see as I start bringing the eggs into it, I'm kind of using the same colours across this kind of entire composition. All I'm doing now is all I'm adding onto this is the ink brush that I regularly use, the Gensinki brush, which has a nice bit of texture on it. So I'm just adding in a bit of light. So it's just like a light variation of the brown that I used. And I'm just kind of just neatening up these edges now with the eraser, and yeah, so it's just bringing out some darks from the inside of the bowl with the rough kind of texture of the clay from the outside, and just kind of layering it on. And what I'm doing now is with the same brush, I'm just using a smaller head size, and I'm just basically just creating lines that are following the structure and the shape of this round clay bowl. But yeah, I mean, I think this is a good one to practice on because you're kind of getting used to colours and using like different tones of colours. I had a little message there saying my battery was low on the iPad. That's another problem with digital, because you're constantly trying to you're constantly working for how many hours you work, and it does drain the battery, especially when you're using the Apple Pencil. But yeah, I'll probably do another video on what my thoughts are, my kind of initial first impressions after a month are on the iPad Pro and the Apple Pencil, and to give you a bit of an idea if you're thinking about buying this machine, this device, if you like. But yeah, so all I'm doing now is I'm just blocking in the shapes of the eggs, and I'm using the oil brush for this. And I think the oil brush is brilliant because you can kind of blend the strokes in like you would naturally do with a real oil brush and oil paint. So it's a very nice kind of effect. As you can see now, I'm adding in like the darker orange on top, and I'm just slowly blending the strokes in. So the lighter touch that you have, the lighter that stroke's going to be, and the easier it is for you to blend. The harder you go in, it'll be more like an impasto style of painting, and I like that style. I like that thick stroke style of painting because it does add a lot of texture. And yeah, so all I'm doing is I'm adding, again, this is what I'm talking about here, where I'm adding in the lights, and just slowly with a light brush, just using circular motions going up and down, just blending it into the actual shape of the egg, and it works really well. I mean, this is how I do normal painting, but I tend not to use oils. I tend to use acrylics when I do painting, but to be honest with you, I think it's really, really good. You can probably hear some crackling noises in the background. There are fireworks already going off in the background, so do excuse them. What I'm doing now is just with the 6B pencil with the dark shade of brown, I'm just using my cross-hatching to kind of like really bring out some of that dark aspect of the egg, because you can see that the eggs, where they lay inside the bowl, there's a lot of dark kind of coming out from the bottom, and it just adds that nice contrasting effect on this whole image. And I think it's really good to kind of like paint images where you capture a good amount of contrast. So all I'm doing is I'm using the kind of forward and backward lines to come up with a cross-hatching structure in the areas where there's dark and there's variation of colour. It really will bring out the kind of the overall shape and effect of these eggs rather than making them look flat. In my real traditional paintings, I would use acrylic or watercolour colour, and then I'd go in with cross-hatching with fine nib pen, and I'll be doing examples of this or showing you how to do this in 2018, hopefully. So do look out for that. Do subscribe to the channel for that type of content. And yeah, so I was actually quite pleased with the overall result of this drawing. I think it took around about maybe 45 minutes for me to complete. So all I'm doing on this now is I'm just adding in with an airbrush some darks, using the same kind of gradients that I used before, and some lights as well to kind of highlight the kind of rim of the bowl, and kind of to put some more dark into where the eggs are to really make them pop out. And then you also have like reflected lights. If you can see on the right hand side where the egg is, the lighter colour egg, you can see like the colour from the left is coming onto it. So when you kind of look at objects and see how light is reflected upon other objects from another object, you'll see that colour. So it's really important to put those colours in as you can see them, because it'll bring that realistic element into your drawing and painting. So all I'm doing now is I'm just adding in a black drop shadow that was on the table. You probably can't see it that well on the picture, but there is one that's extending kind of the plate area, and then using the opacity on that layer to just bring it down to make it more uniform. And now all I'm doing now is adding in some highlights. So I initially added in these highlights as a base highlight, and then what I did is just use cross-hatching to kind of really bring out where the light is kind of hitting. And then what I do is I just use the opacity on that layer to bring the opacity of it down so it doesn't look too sharp, and then to add the final highlights without any opacity. I do that right at the end. I think that kind of really makes the the image come together. But yeah, I would again, if you haven't started this challenge, please definitely start this challenge if you want to get back into art and you've not been drawing for a while, because it really starts kind of getting you to draw things that you're not used to drawing, and kind of using those kind of artistic muscles in your hands and in your mind, and training your kind of eye and your hand-eye coordination. And it really builds on your skill set. So so I hope you enjoyed this one. I actually enjoyed this quite a lot, drawing this one. So please do subscribe to the channel. Please give the video a thumbs up, and please also share this channel with others so that we can learn from each other. And hopefully I'll see you on the next one. Have a great day today on the festive day, and take care of yourself, keep sketching, and peace.